are the co-hosts of
WokeNFree.
Thank you for tuning in to our 42nd episode of WokeNFree. If you've been tuning in every week for WokeNFree Wednesday, you know that WokeNFree is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything that's important to us, to you, the world, and nothing is off the table. In this episode, we're talking all about friendship. But before we dive deep into the subject, we have a couple of ground rules to cover. First, have you subscribed to WokeNFree on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio? If not, please do. If you go to WokeNFree.com, you can see all the various platforms that we're on, and so we greatly appreciate if you subscribe and support our phenomenal podcast. Also, sharing an episode would be phenomenally great if you could do that as well. Feel free to share this episode, share it with a friend, family member. Sharing is caring, guys. And then we are always very active on social media, so you can always find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WokeNFree. And then lastly, if you want to review an episode of ours, please do. We love to hear your feedback. And you can do so on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio. Again, go to WokeNFree.com. You'll see all the different platforms where you can engage with us, subscribe, and of course, review an episode.
Each week, we like to share a little bit about us before we dive into the topic for the episode. Last week, we shared our weirdest dreams. This week, we're going to share our favorite way to communicate.
Say what?
What's your favorite way to communicate with another person?
Telekinesis, yeah.
Wow, you have some special powers indeed, then.
Clearly, my real friends call me Storm. Yes.
That's not her power, but okay. If you want.
That's what you think, Bubba.
That's what you want. I mean, that's up to you.
I mean, in general, you didn't say, like, it had to apply to me, but the general way of, like, actual communication, I think telekinesis is cool. If you're asking how
I'm asking, it's for us specifically. Each week we share about us, not the other population.
Okay.
Not in theory. This is just
All
about
right.
us. This is not theory. This is just literally, what is your favorite way to communicate?
I guess probably email, because I can delete them and I can archive them, and telephone calls are too extensive sometimes, and texting, again, if my fingers were more agile, it would go easier, but I just prefer email.
All right.
And
that's
you?
fair enough. Well, I like instant messaging, otherwise known as like chatting or messenger.
True.
And I like to do that with GIFs. I think that's the best way to communicate.
Oh, yes. A good GIF is awesome. Yes. Shout out to
So, that's my
Jiffy,
thing.
right? Yeah, they're awesome. Okay. Now for the topic today, right?
If you want to get into it, what is friendship? So, let's say, what does friendship really mean?
Okay. So there's plenty of information on the good old internet, but one thing that I came across that was interesting is on howstuffworks.com, which again, you can find all of our article references and research on WokeNFree.com. So they define friendship as a type of relationship between two people who care about each other, but such a dry definition doesn't do the concept of friendship justice. So they provide examples. They say a friend is the first person you want to call when you hear good news. A friend remembers that you don't like pickles in your sandwich. A friend will accompany you on the most boring of errands and make them seem fun. And
Did it really say that about the pickles?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's funny. I don't like pickles on my sandwich.
For sure. So, I think that and it goes on to say other stuff. Personally, I would define friendship to a couple of factors. First, someone I like to most of the time. We share interests together, like art, music, movies. We have a great time together when we hang out. It's not a drag or something that I dread. The investment in the relationship of building this with the other person is overall worth it. And being in each other's lives make both people better. I think too many times I've been in friendships where it's one-sided, so thus it becomes a drag or it becomes something that is not really enjoyable. So those are my factors. But how would you define like what friendship really means?
I checked out the definition in Wikipedia, and they were describing friendship as a stronger than interpersonal bond than association. But a better way to think of it, at least personally, how I think of friendship, is someone who sticks with you through hard times, or someone who sticks with you through thick and thin, as they would say. A fair weather friend is probably more of an associate than a person whom you should hold dear to your heart.
Interesting. Okay. Gotcha. All right. What would you say makes a bad friend?
A bad friend, I would say, is probably somebody who causes you more harm than good.
Mm-hmm.
No friend is perfect, but a good friend is usually looking out for your interests, let's say. But there's a couple of things that a good friend should never do, and that is lead you into dangerous situations on numerous occasions, because that's pretty terrible.
So gang members,
they should look out for your well-being, or leading you down a dark alley, like, hey, let's, after you're at a club, and say, hey, let's go hang out in this back alley. Nope, that's a dangerous situation.
Bad decisions. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully they're smarter about things when they're with you. Continuously shaming you about something, that's not good.
Yes.
Bad friend is someone who bullies you.
True.
I mean, come on, you shouldn't be bullying anybody, but your friend especially, that's bad. And then if they consistently lie to you, I think that's a bad friend.
Gotcha. Okay. I concur. I think those are great scenarios of things that define a bad friend and probably a bad person. On Thought Catalog, they actually have an article, again, all available on WokeNFree.com, that actually provides a list of 23 signs of whether or not you have a toxic friend in your life. Some of them I thought were really fun, so I'd love to name them. First one that really stuck out to me, seeing their name appear on your phone puts the fear of God in your heart. Been there, man.
Wow.
Been there.
Nice.
Also, other obligations, work, other plans, mental health are expected to be dropped whenever they need you. You're just a bad friend. Otherwise, no exceptions. I completely concur as well. There's some people who they want to just monopolize your life because you are quote unquote their friend and they need you and you have to just drop everything, and that's A, unrealistic, but B, not a good friend, because a good friend would understand that maybe you need to work because maybe you'd like to eat that sandwich without that pickle, right? So maybe you might want lights for the month, right? So, not everything just drops because you're having a meltdown.
So you shouldn't be a servant then.
Yeah, like,
you should be a servant to your friend.
There are professionals that are offer their services, like psychiatrists and psychologists, that if you're having a mental breakdown, you should speak to those people. A friend isn't a replacement therapist. A friend isn't a replacement physical therapist. Everyone has their own lane that they need to be in, and I think a bad friend would require you to get in a lane that you shouldn't be in. And also a friend they list is a bad friend is when they make you feel dumb for expressing a viewpoint that differs from theirs. I completely agree with that one. And then also you feel judged for things that make you who you are. I think that list on Thought Catalog was right where it needed to be.
Those are some good points.
Do you think we need friends in life?
Good friends, yes. I took a look at what the Mayo Clinic actually thought the benefits are having friends, and what they were claiming is that it increases your sense of belonging and purpose, for one point. The second is boosting your happiness and reducing your stress.
Fascinating.
A third is improve your self-confidence and self-worth. It can also help you cope with traumas such as divorce, serious illness, job loss, or the death of a loved one.
See, that's where that lane thing comes in. Interesting. Okay.
Well, this is what friends try. And then one of the last points they made is that good friends can encourage you to change or avoid unhealthy lifestyle habits, such as excessive drinking or lack of exercise.
Oh, I love how the list is shaming people. That's amazing. My first inclination is to say yes. I think that how society presents it, or how maybe people are reared, at least in how we grew up, I felt growing up like, someone who is quote unquote successful has like a good amount of friends in their life. But to be honest, I think, and we'll talk about this, but I think it's hard to find a good friend. And if you do have them, they're probably not in hordes. They're probably like 1 to 2 people in your life. So yes, do you need them? You don't need a million of them, but you need a couple. And personally, I mean, I'm kind of demanding out of what I would want out of a good friend, because I demand a lot out of myself. So for me, definitely someone that I relate to. I could not call you a good friend if I have to explain to you or defend to you who I am, that means you don't get me. And so we're like on different planets. And so that you're not a good friend then. Someone, again, that I actually want to hang out with. It shouldn't be a struggle to make this happen. It shouldn't be, moving continents to see you. It needs to be easy flowing, and people just make things happen when they want to. Someone who ultimately makes my life better. If I say your name and I want to exhale after, or, speak to Jesus after, we're struggling in life together. And then also, someone that, will be there for you. I don't know if through the thick and thin thing, because at the end of the day, there's only one person who's done that, and I'm sitting next to the person. So again, I think it's difficult. I think for me personally, I think I have had a lot of acquaintances, and I think I've had people who loosely fit the category of friend, but a good friend, no. I think that I've had a best friend, and everyone else is just kind of a little bit more than a stranger, right? Like, it's like, there's certain people that are good people, but like good friendships that I would say there's only a couple of people I can count on for that title.
Oh, all right, yeah, those are some fair points about what you need for that, for good friendship. Yeah, I mean, I'd add to that is that a good friendship is someone who checks in on you. They encourage you, give you good criticism. They can make you laugh, have similar interests and they also have similar interests and goals.
Gotcha.
I think that's, if you have somebody like that that's in your inner circle, I think they should at least check those boxes, because otherwise, I think, yeah, like you were saying, they're kind of like an acquaintance or an associate. And there's a lot of people who claim they have tons of friends and that they're in their inner circle, but they don't even do any of those things I just listed on my list. Maybe they make you laugh, but I mean, anybody can do that. But
well, Kevin Hart's our best friend, right?
Yeah. But they got to really check in on you too, really want to know that you're okay. You need somebody like that.
Oh,
and it shouldn't be one-sided. It has to be both ways too. It can't just your friend might check in on you, but if you never check in on them, you're not a friend either.
True.
It goes both ways. You both got to check in on each other.
But you know what's interesting? I mean, I just think that how we interact as people has really changed the name. It's
different now.
And the game, because...
But when I'm saying check in, it doesn't have to be a telephone call and you talk for 30 minutes. It could be a message. It could be what up,
True that. Listen,
don't put you up.
Yeah. What?
Don't put you up. Remember we saw that, what that means in the message? You up.
Oh, yeah.
Never put that. Never write that to a friend unless this is a friends with benefit kind of thing. Friends
that
with
is
benefits
a different type of conversation.
If it's that, then you can put you up. Put you up in question mark. Because we found out about
please
that.
Please refer to Grownish if you want to know the inside joke there.
That's one method, yeah. It's probably on Urban Dictionary too, though.
True that. And all these youngins out here, they know what's up. So.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know. People can be difficult, and so I think that again, friend is a loose, I think, out of what we're saying. It's not a hard and fast rule. I just think that it's all about boundaries and expectations and what do you need out of the relationship. For me, I need it to be something to enjoy. I need it to be a point of growth, and I need it to be a point of dependability, right? And you define what that is, right? A good friend. I have good friends that I maybe speak to a couple of times a year. I also have good friends that, I speak to every day.
Yeah.
So I think every friendship is also different. Which is very interesting. And so you have to kind of understand that and know that rules don't apply across the board, because yes, some people just can't meet certain expectations.
How do you keep a good friend then?
Well, lifehack.com, also available on WokeNFree.com, has a great list of 10 ways to keep a good friendship. I won't name all of them, but some obvious ones that should come to mind. Make time to connect, right? This thing of, I can't see you, other than once every 3 years. I mean, short of you saving lives in like Syria or something, like I'm not quite sure why you can't make time for the friend, right?
And don't be flaky.
Yeah, please. Like don't
pretending you're gonna connect and then it never happens because you never get back.
Super weird.
And there's a lot of definitely had a lot
Like,
of friends
yeah,
do that one.
we're gonna meet up.
Let's hang out. We're gonna do this, and then never happened.
Never hear from them, right? Weird. Set and respect boundaries. I think that's important. Communicate mindfully. Keep them accountable. I think that's important. Get to know them personally. Again, if you're my good friend and you don't know my favorite color,
they know you professionally,
weird.
But not personally.
But that's a business friendship, right? And then that's, could you have a good business friendship? Absolutely. But it's not a good personal, right? Like, they're different standards and different applications. Build trust. I think that's important too. And then just be a positive force. I like some of those things. How about you? What do you think is required?
Just from me, I would add that they should be kind. I would hope. That's nice. They a big one to keep them is you got to be willing to work through arguments or disputes, because if not, if you can't work through it, then that'll end the friendship. You might have one argument that you two, nobody wants to like back down on or come to some sort of agreement, then that'll be done. This good friend will be gone. Like, you got to be able to work through these.
Well, how good were they? Yeah.
Maybe, but maybe you're just not good at figuring, like, compromise. Yeah, figuring out what if you're just not good at that, then it can cause issues.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and then I thought they should be understanding and flexible, which kind of goes back with the willing to work through arguments and disputes. So they should understand that maybe you don't have time, for the next couple of months to hang out with them and not be upset about it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I would say, because I'm kind of like a bull in a china house, that like most of the people that I attract through the law of attraction are people who are not like me. And so most of my friends tend to be non-confrontational. So that whole conversation of arguments and disputes are interesting, because I'm just like, what? I'm ready. Are you ready? What's your argument? What's your thought? And they're like, good. Nope, Tasha, I'm good. And I'm like, hey, that's on you. If you want to sit and fester in your thoughts, that's on you.
But they should be willing to work through it.
Well, if you're non-confrontational, you're not going to, right?
Yeah.
So then it simmers down, and that's the end.
And that'll make it tough to keep them around if they're not able to just work through these arguments that come up.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why people go by the wayside. But for me, like, I'm a full believer of I've got to be me everywhere I go, and unauthentically me. And I don't want to say I enjoy being confrontational, but I enjoy speaking my truth, speaking my perspective. And if you can't hang with it, then, that might be a problem with you.
You said you just do you. I'ma do me.
Me, exactly.
I'ma do me.
Exactly.
I'ma do me.
Everything turns into a rap song, guys. Like, that's where we're at with life. So you have to have your truth and I'll have mine, and we'll see if it makes sense together. But if not, then I'll catch you on the mixtape. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Like, I thought you were gonna say flip side, but okay, yeah. The mixtape too, I guess.
Yes, true that.
And you'll catch them ghosting you too.
Yes, that is a big one. I got a lot of ghosters out there. That's really funny that you brought that one up. Shade.
You can just ghost me until the end of time. Ghost me until the end of time. And hopefully in VR they ghost you too. You see them standing in the background.
That's
that image.
Creepy.
It's like a literal ghost. That'd be funny.
Super creepy.
Or you see like eyes looking at you.
Most likely. Yes, got a lot of ghosters out there.
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Yes.
Like
I love that song. Oh my god, I can't. What are the best ways to make a good friend? I think we can't leave that conversation out.
Well, I think the most important thing is probably just doing activities you love. Like, just going about them naturally. And, like, if you like to kayak, you go kayaking. Go to the stores to buy your little kayaks and your paddles. And, you might just meet somebody there. You might be browsing. You might ask somebody a question. Maybe the clerk even. You can meet a friend just doing the activities you love. Now, hopefully, the one activity I'd say you probably would not want to meet too many friends is the drinking activities. Because while you're drinking, you might not have the best sense of reality, so you may make friend that has nothing in common with you and is actually dangerous to your life. So that's one activity that, even if you love to do that, try not to make friends while drinking.
Sure, and I would add drug abuse to that too, given our
opiate drugs, then.
Crisis in this
we
country.
Can spread that to just drugs in general. If you're into doing lots of drugs, don't make friends while you're doing these drugs.
Druggy friends are not the type of friends you need, guys.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I met you at Penn State, and since you're my best friend, maybe everyone should go to Penn State. Joking.
And that's the answer.
Joking. Listen,
Very
there's the
specific.
creamery. There's the creamery ice cream, guys. You're missing out. But no, if you go to helpguide.com, which of course you can find on WokeNFree.com, they have a couple of really cool suggestions to make good friends. So volunteering, right?
Yeah,
doing
good
good
one.
stuff for your soul and actually helping other people. God forbid. That's a cool one. Also, walking a dog. I would say yes, except in certain neighborhoods like ours.
Don't throw shade. Don't
where
throw
I
shade.
could die in the street with my dog, and
No, you'll meet
I'm
people.
not gonna meet nobody. But
You'll meet
that's
people.
okay.
You might meet a few pit bulls, but you'll meet people.
And you. We're talking about human friends,
Oh, okay.
not
I thought you were
chunchies.
talking about other dog
Not
friends.
chunchies.
You see some loose dogs running around, make friends with them.
Not chunchi. And then also attending art gallery openings, book readings, lecture, music recitals, community events, even concerts, right?
As long as you're into that stuff.
Exactly. So yes, don't go to these things with a stank
I'm gonna
attitude. I'm trying to meet a friend. Listen.
And if you're going to a music recital, I mean,
You can't talk while they're
No, but besides that, is there any open music recitals that people can go to, or is it a thing like you go and see somebody that you know? I mean,
Oh,
you
that's
put
interesting.
music. I mean, you saw
maybe
music.
like
that's
maybe
funny.
if you
I-
if you like the band or symphony or whatever playing, but then also you could go on like Eventbrite and see, like, you can look up types of events.
Make
that
sure
you're
it's an open
interested
event
in
and not a private event.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Don't be
Like
crashing
crashing
nobody's
party is not-
like 12-year-old music recital thing.
That's
yeah, like,
not. Yeah, that I don't think you're gonna make many
that's
friends
not cute.
there.
But listen, Wedding Crashers, they looked like they had lots of friends.
Yeah, well, they had fun. I don't know about friends again because it involved lots of drinking, so I don't know.
Well, that's true. They were inebriated.
It was lots of fun though. This isn't about having
that
fun.
movie is
This
so
is
funny.
about this is the friend episode.
You said this is about me having fun.
No, because if it is, then wow, and all this stuff will go out the window.
Thus implying friendship is not fun.
Some of it's hard work.
It is hard work. Of course it is. It's a relationship, right?
Yeah.
That's why I said don't be out here trying to have 12, because you will literally feel like you're in a nest of vampires.
Well, you can have 12 if you dabble in each. I dabble in a friend here or there.
Yeah, like I know 10% of each of you. So together as a collective, we're doing really well.
Yeah, I guess so. You combine them all, and that gives you your one friend, I guess.
Creepy. Oh gosh. I think
Through the many.
everyone's just listening saying, what?
Yeah, they're just getting amped up. They're ready for our next.
They're ready to
path.
walk a dog, yeah.
Maybe. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what? What is the scenario? It is scenario time, folks. Scenario 1. Ash and Brock used to be fierce gym competitors. Brock was considered to be at the top, winning all of his competitions. Ash came along one day, out of nowhere, and smashed all of Brock's records. Being a nice guy, Ash was able to eventually befriend Brock without guile. Can this friendship last long, since they both were against each other originally?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think that just because you have a bad starting, like you come from a bad starting place with someone, doesn't mean that you can't turn that into a beautiful relationship. I think that if he's genuine about wanting a friendship out with him, and not like, oh, I want to be your friend because I kicked your ass and everything, then I think that that's fine. But it's all about like what was his intention. If they both have really good intentions and they're like, let's be friends, let's have a bromance, and what's that phrase from the Jersey Shore, like the
Bros over clothes?
excuse you, GTL or whatever, like gym, laundry, tanning or whatever.
Oh, I don't know
that
Jersey
whole
Shore
thing,
stuff.
yeah. Like if you're
Sorry.
willing to do stuff together, then sure, why not? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could work out. I think even if they were really deep enemies, I don't know. I think it was just like on the surface. They didn't really know each other. That's why they had that relationship.
Competition
so
is healthy, yeah.
it's like once you get to know somebody, you can realize, oh, we have a lot of stuff in common. I mean, we should have been friends from the start. So I think this friendship could last, and it could actually benefit the both of them. Like you said, healthy competition, and they can
push each other to
they
keep
can still
moving,
compete,
yeah.
and now they're doing it in a friendly manner. They don't have to worry about catching each other outside in the parking lot or something.
You so hood. I can't.
No, because people say I'm going to
Queens
catch you
in the house.
outside. Like, what are you going to catch me doing? You going to catch my frisbee?
In
What are you
the
catching?
house.
What are you catching?
Okay, confrontational one.
No, that's what I'm asking. If someone wants to catch you outside. what are they? All right, we're gonna go on now.
Yep.
Scenario 2. Sandra and Phyllis have been friends for a very, very long time. Phyllis brought Bill along to hang out with them one time, and he ended up telling her later, "Why did you start telling self-deprecating jokes earlier?" That got you to thinking that maybe Bill has a point. Should you continue hanging out with Sandra, or should you reconsider your friendship?
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, I don't know exactly how long Phyllis and Bill have been friends, so I don't know.
Recent friends.
Okay, so,
She's been longtime friends with Sandra.
I mean, it does beg the point of, like, how good of a friend is Sandra if she's allowing her friend Phyllis to, like, talk crap about herself and not interrupt her or stop her, because for the friends who they know, whether you're my friend or even my client or something, if when I hear, self-deprecating things, I turn and I have a very harsh glare at the person who said that, and I'm like, you need to correct yourself right now. I'm going to pray for you. So yeah, I would say, but
you better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Exactly. We're always getting into musicals here.
Oh, is that a musical?
That's
a line, too.
It will be.
That used to be a common 90s phrase, I think.
But living in the past.
It might have been in a song, too. In the past. Yeah, you never know. Watch. In 2020, someone's going to bring it back, and I'm going to say, I told you.
House party. Yeah.
You'll see. Will Smith will say it on his next record.
Or live stream.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Something. He's been doing a lot of social
okay.
content.
He may have said that before.
But, but then it begs the question about Sandra. Maybe Sandra's super negative and she doesn't even hear or register it when it's being said in front of her. So, it begs the question of, like, what's up with Sandra? What's up with Phyllis? And then Bill, that's cool that he was identifying. But then also, is he coming from a good place? So
yeah, it's hard to know. Is he just trying to sabotage the friendship?
It could be. He could be. He could be just trying to, like, get in there. So everyone's a suspect for needing more questions and analysis. What do you think?
Well, then, but we always got to get down to the conclusion. What does she do then?
Well, she needs to have a conversation with Sandra and talk to her about the last conversation they had and say, hey, girl, did you think I was, like, talking badly about myself, and engage in a conversation, and based on more further analysis, if she feels like Sandra, for instance, she does have that conversation and Sandra says, no, I don't think you were doing anything like that, then you would say, oh, maybe she's super negative, and so, maybe spend a little less time with her, maybe start spending time with more people who, similar to Bill, potentially could be like, hey, stop talking crap about yourself. And broaden your horizons, right? I don't know if the conversation or the friendship needs to come to an end,
right.
but it depends. It all depends on how beneficial keeping Sandra in Phyllis's life will be.
So you recommend not relocating and changing your number and not telling her where you lived and where your new phone is.
I don't think it's that serious at this
stage. Don't go through extreme measures.
But changes will probably need to be made. If you have to speak positively about yourself, you have to think positively about yourself, you have to live and do positive things in your life. And so everyone in your life who can't be on that train with you, au revoir, it's been nice, keep moving.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think she should definitely probably just, you got to talk to Sandra. Just bring it up to her and get a feel of what does she feel about the situation. Did she notice what happened? Or is she just going to say, oh, you're silly, you never do that? Then you know that she's just brushing it off and doesn't really care about you. So depending on that interaction, that's how you'll know how to proceed.
Exactly.
It's all about after the approach, though. But at least give her the benefit of the doubt, approach
definitely.
her. Because people, far too often, they make an assumption and they just will, like, X you out without even giving you a chance to plead your word. I mean, that's messed up. Just give her one shot.
True that.
That's what I say. Scenario 3. Melody's singing career started to take off after years of hard work and just the right music executive coming across her work. She's had to leave her old friends behind because they weren't concerned with the future and like blaming the government for all their problems. Now that her work is circulating, she's actually easily recognized anywhere she goes. So it's hard to meet new people that she can just chillax with. Where should Melody go? Or what should she do to meet new friends?
Virtual reality.
Oh, that's going to be fun. With the really realistic models they have, yep. It's going to look really great. It's going to be great. It's going to be great, I tell you. It's going to be great.
I'm not taking my life too seriously right now.
I guess not. It'll be great, I tell you. It'll be great.
That's interesting. As you change in life and your I guess status changes, so does your circle, right? And so she's gonna have to elevate who she's hanging out with, and also maybe interact with people who are maybe not into the music scene. So that way, when she walks into a room and she's expecting, lights, camera, action, and people are just like, "And who are you?" So that she can get a little bit more of that humble pie and recognize that not everybody knows who you are. I'm sure as much as we all love Beyonce in this country, I'm sure there's someone in the planet who doesn't know who she is.
Of course.
So
there's people born every day.
Yeah, exactly. So there are people who don't necessarily know what's going on in the trendy circle, and so you might need to branch out and get to know those people so that you have a chance. So Melody has a chance of really establishing real relationships with people and not like fangirling her, because that could be upsetting if you're trying to have a real friendship and someone's like, "Can you give me an autograph so I can sell this on eBay?" Like, get a grip. Boom boom.
Yeah, that's definitely tough.
You agree? Disagree?
Yeah, I think I agree. That's the best way to go.
Expand your horizons for sure.
Yeah, since it's not working out at your usual places.
True that. Yeah, put those shades on. Good luck, Melody.
Definitely will need some luck. Maybe she can find like a prince of England and go with that kind of person.
Ooh, you're funny. My first word response, a virtual reality. Always good old technology, you guys. Or, those chat rooms. What's your name? Cynthia.
Wow. I guess so, yeah.
She can catfish herself.
Just don't play chat roulette. That would not be good times.
But, oh man. No catfishing is bad, guys, really.
And chat roulette is bad, too.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, and I don't want to know.
Don't look it up, then. Well, look it up on a text-only site, is what I would say. Make sure no pictures are involved.
Oh my gosh. Okay, no. We are at that time again. It is the coming of the end of our 42nd episode of WokeNFree. Really ruining it
oh,
again.
Come on. Now you went so low.
I went low because I heard you going and high and high and higher.
That doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to match.
Okay, Diana Ross. Okay. This was quite the episode talking all about friendship. And as per usual, if you're a regular, will I leave you hanging for what our next episode will be all about? Drum roll, please.
On our next episode, we will be talking about what is going on with the current immigration crisis in the U.S. Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along in the conversation. Make sure you tune in next week for WokeNFree Wednesday to join the conversation at WokeNFree.com.
Hey, and we are really concerned about the immigration crisis. So if you have special context that you want to add to the conversation, if you have certain things you want to share, please do visit WokeNFree.com and go to the Contact Us page, because you'll be able to not only submit a topic for an upcoming episode, but you can add to the conversation for next WokeNFree episode every Wednesday, guys. So please hit us up, and please also feel free to share your thoughts with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WokeNFree.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do. Share the episode, and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for WokeNFree Wednesdays. Until next time.